We are in the midst of a Bitcoin pre-halving pump. Bitcoin breaks 50K for first time since hitting all-time high in 2021. Bitcoin has gained more than 15% over the past 7 days and is now the highest it's been since December 2021. Bitcoin is climbing and will soon approach its previous all-time high of around 69,000. Taking a look at the price chart, we can see that once we break and hold above this $52,000 price point, there isn't any major resistance level until it reaches that previous all-time high. The halving is about 60 days away, happening in April of this year, and it's looking very likely that Bitcoin will reach a new all-time high. And if you want to learn more about the Bitcoin halving and its historical effect on Bitcoin's price, check out this video guide for beginners by clicking on the link above. In addition to pre-halving hype, we have a whole slew of bullish events ahead that will also act as tailwinds, taking Bitcoin to new heights. While these events are fantastic for Bitcoin, some of them are extremely bad for the average common person around the world, and especially the United States in particular. Prices rose more than expected in January as inflation won't go away. The Consumer Price Index increased by 0.3% in January, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported. On a 12-month basis, that came out to 3.1%, down from 3.4% in December. Inflation in the United States is likely not going anywhere anytime soon and is more than likely going to get a lot worse for a few reasons. Let's explore why. Hello, I'm Crypto Casey, a little congested from a ski trip out in Big Sky, Montana, and welcome to another episode of Crypto This Week. Let's take a look at the global news stories and the state of the current macro environment. Please check out our sponsors, CoinLedger, Lorenzo, CPA, and Tangent Wallet. Get your crypto taxes done quickly and easily in 3 simple steps with CoinLedger, a platform we can use for free to see an overview of our gains and losses, as well as download the tax forms we need to file ourselves, upload to TurboTax, or hand off to our accountant. My accountant, Lorenzo, has saved me a ton of time and money over the years with tax saving strategies. So book a free call with him today and check out his crypto tax course we can get for a discount using the links below. And invest in your very own cold storage hardware wallet like Tangent Wallet. It's the size of a credit card, multi-currency, multi-chain, and it's by far the easiest crypto wallet to set up and use on the market right now, and it's extremely affordable. So scroll down and use links below to access the correct and official sites, as well as redeem any special offers they have for us. Sweet. So it's important to understand that the US dollar is a fiat currency that has value because 1, the government declares it should be used as a medium of exchange in the United States, and 2, it's backed by people in other countries' faith in the United States' ability to pay its debts. With this in mind, Uncle Sam is drowning in a $34 trillion debt owed to creditors worldwide, surpassing the annual output of the entire US economy by over 20%. With the Federal Reserve's rapid tightening last year and the likelihood of prolonged higher rates, starting in 2024, the interest burden to service the debt is poised to hit a historic high as a percentage of the economy. In fact, the interest we are paying on this debt is now where most of our money is going. We are paying more interest, the cost of borrowing all this money, than we are paying on national defense. And Elon Musk points out, when you add unfunded obligations like Social Security and Medicare, plus state and local debt, he wrote last month, government debt will soon exceed $100 trillion. So why is this happening and how did we get here? Well, frankly, several reasons and ways. One of which is the simple fact that no fiat currency has ever stood the test of time. It's a failed economic experiment that is basically weaponized by private central banks and their bought and paid for political puppets to control the masses, enslave us, while they all remain extremely rich and powerful. What most people aren't aware of is that Congress in the US has the power to issue interest-free currency in our country, instead of borrowing the existing currency we use from private central banks, the Federal Reserve. Check it out. Before the American Revolution, the colonies had created their own money called the colonial scrip, and it was interest-free, wealth-based money issued by the colonies themselves. And here's a famous quote from Benjamin Franklin describing how it worked. That is simple. In the colonies, we issue our own money. It's called the colonial scrip. We issue it in proper proportion to the demands of trade and industry to make the products pass easily from the producers to the consumers. In this manner, creating for ourselves our own paper money, we control its purchasing power and we have no interest to pay. And it worked great from when it was created in 1750 until 1764, when the Bank of England, a private central bank and their bought and paid for political puppet, the king, made it illegal with the Currency Act. At that time, Benjamin Franklin said, The colonies would have gladly borne the little tax on tea and other matters had it not been that England took away from the colonies their money, which created unemployment and dissatisfaction. The inability of colonists to get power to issue their own money permanently out of the hands of George III and the international bankers was the prime reason for the Revolutionary War. So, here's the deal. After the Revolutionary War, that was fought mainly due to private banks trying to enslave the colonies, the newly formed US government actually took steps to try to prevent another private central bank from interfering with their new country. And here's an important, telling quote from Thomas Jefferson, basically predicting our current situation hundreds of years beforehand. If the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their currency, first by inflation, then by deflation, the banks will deprive the people of all property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. The issuing power should be taken from the banks and restored to the people, to whom it properly belongs. Crazy, right? And here's another quote by John Adams in a letter to Thomas Jefferson. All the perplexities, confusion, and distresses in America arise not from defects in the Constitution or Confederation, nor from want of honor or virtue, as much from downright ignorance of the nature of coin, credit, and circulation. And this is why I started making videos to try and spread awareness about how the current traditional financial system works, and alternatives we can explore to try and build a better world together, like blockchain-based financial systems. I mean, here's a quote directly from the governor of the Bank of England, Montagu Norman, addressing the United States Bank years ago with the same exact blueprint and game plan the current private central bankers are using today. Check it out. Capital must protect itself in every possible way, both by combination and legislation. Debts must be collected, mortgages foreclosed as rapidly as possible. When, through process of law, the common people lose their homes, they will become more docile and more easily governed through the strong arm of the government applied by a central power of wealth under leading financiers. These truths are well known among our principalmen, who are now engaged in forming an imperialism to govern the world. By dividing the voter through the political party system, we can get them to expend their energies in fighting for questions of no importance. It is thus by discreet action we can secure for ourselves that which has been so well planned and so successfully accomplished. Funny how here we are, yet again, squabbling over Democrats versus Republicans, squabbling over race, religion, gender, age, generation, diets, countries, football teams. We are letting global elites keep us dumb, divided, and distracted while they use money to effectively enslave us. Money is essential to human cooperation, is as old as civilization itself, and is humanity's most important technology today. It has become a prism through which we perceive the world, and it has been horribly corrupted. This corruption affects us in many ways. It affects how we think, how we act, and how we treat each other. So history is not only rhyming, it's repeating itself. So how is it that the United States was founded with the intention of keeping private central bankers out of the government, yet here we are, back where we started? Well, it's very simple. Bankers are dedicated to schemes of acquiring our wealth and know how easy it is to corrupt nations' leaders. And like we've been discussing over the past few years together, it's likely that the Federal Reserve and US government are scheming to deliberately destroy the current financial system to further centralize and consolidate power so that only a few big banks exist, like JP Morgan, with the ultimate goal being to usher in a central bank digital currency they completely control to try and completely control us, other countries, and the entire world at large. Amazing. So now we know why this is happening. It's simply history repeating itself. However, this time around may be different due to it happening in a new digital era where we have the internet, access to information that has been deliberately kept from us, like this. And we've got alternatives to private central banks that exist, like Bitcoin, and others in the works, like X, formerly Twitter's, intention of becoming an open financial network and payment infrastructure that uses cryptocurrencies. And to the detriment of the United States and the Federal Reserve's evil plan, we've got countries all over the world on a mission to de-dollarize completely. Before diving in, let's quickly check out just how simple and easy it is to get our crypto taxes done with CoinLedger and their three-step process. First, we are going to import our transaction activities from all exchanges and wallets we have been using, like Coinbase, Kraken, MetaMask, Tangent Wallet, or similar, with a simple click of a button. Second, CoinLedger will automatically classify our transaction history into the appropriate tax treatment, calculating our gains and losses for all transactions, whether it's from trading, staking, NFTs, or anything else. Then finally, the third step, once we've reviewed everything, we can download our tax report with a simple click of a button. And before even paying to download the tax report, we can view our capital gains and income for free, identify tax loss harvesting opportunities across our portfolio for free, and get help from their support team to review any data we need guidance on. So we can use the platform for free, and we only have to pay if we want to download our digital asset tax reports, which comes with a 14-day money-back guarantee. And we get the tax forms we need instantly to file ourselves, upload to TurboTax, H&R Block, or similar, or hand off to an accountant like I do with my CPA, Lorenzo. Straightforward, easy, safe, and stress-free. So scroll down and use links below to access CoinLedger's correct and official site, as well as redeem any special offers they have for us. Nice. So the US is facing a lot of problems as of late, and arguably the most dire is the US dollar's deteriorating status as the world's reserve currency. BRICS, Russia, China, and India ditch US dollar in 95% of trade, amid its economy's public debt surpassing the $34 trillion mark. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon has predicted a major US financial crisis. Specifically, Dimon noting that the country is facing a global market rebellion amid its growing debt numbers. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell also discussed the trajectory of the U.S. economy. Speaking to 60 Minutes, Powell said the U.S. was on an unsustainable fiscal path with its overall spending. Subsequently, noting that the government continued to borrow from future generations, which provides greater worry for future crises set to unfold. As Dimon said, the BRICS alliance is the beginning of the global market rebellion. They have incited a call to move away from the greenback for future self-preservation. With every growing month and the insurmountable debt, that decision appears increasingly wise for central banks throughout the globe. So here's what we all need to understand, especially if we are in the United States. When countries stop using US dollars to transact, all of those US dollars that have been circulating outside of the US will come flooding back into the US. And this has the same effect as money printing. The increase in supply of US dollars will significantly decrease the purchasing power of US dollars, which means inflation will go up, and we may face a hyperinflation situation like the German mark after World War I. Bearish for the average person around the world, bullish for Bitcoin. And what's funny is since the spot Bitcoin ETF approvals, people have been dumping their gold holdings. Check it out. Gold ETFs hemorrhage billions as investors favor Bitcoin. Long the premier inflation hedge, gold ETFs are hemorrhaging billions in 2024, while a 23.5% Bitcoin price explosion entices investors towards the emerging crypto alternative. And we have yet another tailwind for the crypto space overall this year. Ethereum Spot ETFs are next. And after Ethereum, it will be hard for the SEC to justify not approving NFT ETFs, DeFi ETFs, and even ETFs for the top tokenized real-world assets. Amazing. So we've got likely more money printing to try and backstop this financial crisis we are in during an election year, no less. We've got institutional FOMO setting in as money is flooding into Bitcoin. The Chinese New Year kicked off the Year of the Dragon. So all in all, global liquidity is on the rise. And more liquidity means more money available to flow into more speculative assets like cryptocurrencies. Awesome. So if you haven't yet, watch this step-by-step guide on how to transfer your Bitcoin and crypto off of exchanges to your very own hardware wallet here. If you would like to have that eureka moment and finally understand how crypto wallets, addresses, and private keys work, check out this video. And to get your very own Tangem wallet to completely own and control your crypto, click on the link on the screen. Like and subscribe for more. Be safe out there.